The views and opinions expressed in this podcast by the host and or the guest do not necessarily reflect the views of the host and or Paranormal Buzz Radio and or its sponsors. Use of any material produced by Paranormal Buzz Radio without express written consent is prohibited. Paranormal Buzz Radio will not be held responsible for you holding your knees, crying, and rocking in a corner in a puddle of your own urine, or being beheaded by a group of children in a cornfield. In fact, if you come across a group of children in a cornfield, we promise to make fun of you as you run away screaming in terror. Listener discretion is advised.
Hey, Darin, how's it going?
Hey, Rebecca, I'm back again for another brain twister.
Yeah. Another fun chat. Shay is still recuperating from her surgery. She's doing pretty good, but she's still resting up and doesn't want to put up with my mental gymnastics. or maybe sitting in the chair for a while is just a little much for her right this second. So I have Darin filling in.
Hey, I'm back again.
Back again.
Welcome back, Kata.
So Darin picked out an article. This one is called Spooky Top 10 Unexplained Phenomena. This is by Live Science staff. Published March 24th, 2016 on livescience.com.
I looked hard.
Sounds like a good one.
I just picked what popped up. I'm like, oh, this looks like a good one.
Yeah. Science is powerful, but there is much it can't explain. And when people see, hear, or believe something that is not explained, science finds itself trying to prove things don't exist. And that's truly impossible. In the following pages, you'll learn more about some of the most common inexplainable phenomena, from ghosts to supposed man-like beasts, from incredible experiences at the line between life and death to amazing but unexplained feats of the mind itself. How much of this is real? We will let you decide.
Say that 10 times fast.
Yeah, no kidding. The Taos Hum. I probably totally butchered the name of that town. I've heard of this though.
Okay.
Some residents and visitors in the small town of Taos, New Mexico, have for years been annoyed and puzzled by a mysterious and faint low-frequency hum in the desert air. Oddly, only about 2% of Taos residents report hearing the sound. Some believe it is caused by unusual acoustics. Others suspect mass hysteria or some secret, sinister purpose. Whether described as a whir, hum, or buzz, and whether psychological, natural, or supernatural, no one has yet been able to locate the sound's origin. The thing is, a survey revealed that those who claim to hear the sounds actually hear many different sounds, suggesting the experience may be subjective, not actually objective sounds, and pretty certainly not one particular sound.
That's interesting.
Yeah, that is interesting.
I don't think I ever heard of a hum, maybe. I think something like that you probably hear more out in the country, more so in the city.
Yeah, maybe because there's a lot of city noise and stuff, but
I've bleeds that all out.
Yeah, but I've heard of different hums in different places that they, could be like a power plant or different stuff. But
or the wires and
Right. I think it's interesting though that not everybody's hearing it, or hearing it the same. So that's kind of strange.
Yeah. I have to maybe think about that next time I go out in the country.
Yeah. Bigfoot. Dun, dun, dun.
Oh boy, Bigfoot.
For decades, large, hairy, man-like beasts called Bigfoot have occasionally been reported by eyewitnesses across America. Despite thousands of Bigfoot that must exist for a breeding population, not a single body has been found. Not one has ever been killed by a hunter, struck dead by a speeding car, or even died of natural causes. In the absence of hard evidence like teeth or bones, support comes down to eyewitness sightings and ambiguous photos and films. So it is logically impossible to prove a universal negative. Science will never be able to prove that the creatures like Bigfoot and the Loch Ness Monster do not exist. It is possible that these mysterious beasts lurk far from prying eyes. Call us skeptical. These people are really skeptical. And check out our complete story about Bigfoot. Yeah, none of those people are totally skeptical.
Well, I have to say, I agree. I do not believe in Bigfoot.
They brought up some valid points. I will admit they brought up some valid points there.
I mean, I could see where a big giant man full of hair running through the woods, but how do you know if that's just a really old man? that's in speed, or just all of a sudden just disappears out of nowhere. I mean,
Right. I mean, I've heard that they could be interdimensional creatures, and that's why we don't find bodies of them, because they are, interdimensional.
Well, I call them alien because I think they're aliens.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's kind of stretching our boundaries a little bit of there,
And then you got guys out there to find their crap and say it's them, and I'm like, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
Until I see one face to face, which I'll probably die from anyway, but then I'll believe it.
Okay, next, intuition. Let's see if
this is a good one. Intuition.
See if they're skeptical. Whether we call it a gut feeling, a sixth sense, or something else, we have all experienced intuition at one time or another. Of course, gut feelings are often wrong. How many times during aircraft turbulence have you been sure your plane was going down? But they do seem to be right much of the time. Psychologists note that people subconsciously pick up information about the world around us, leading us to seemingly sense or know information without knowing exactly how or why we know it. But cases of intuition are difficult to prove or study, and psychologically may only be part of the answer. If your intuition is telling you that the next slide is about mysterious disappearances, you're right.
I believe in intuition.
Yeah, I do too.
There are certain things that I can't explain. Numerology is one of them. Look at my phone, I see 111, 5s, 4s.
Right.
The sense of that, like I put something in the microwave or the oven, and it's like set for like 20 minutes, and I just get up because I had the feeling that it's almost done, and it's just like 20 seconds left.
Right. No, like I said, I think these people are kind of skeptical, but no, I believe in intuition for sure.
Absolutely. There's a lot of ways you can go with that one.
Yeah. All right. Mysterious disappearances. People disappear for various reasons. Most are runaways. Some succumb to an accident. A few are abducted or killed, but most are eventually found. Not so with the truly mysterious disappearances. From the crew of the Marie Celeste to Jimmy Hoffa, Amelia Earhart, and Natalie Holloway, some people seem to have vanished without a trace. When missing persons are found, it is always through police work. Always. Who are these people?
Right.
Police work, confession, or an accident, never by psychic detectives. I'm going to take issue with this. But when the evidence is lacking and leads are lost, even police and forensic scientists can't always solve the crime. Yeah.
Well, I can understand they can't always solve the crime, because that's when cold cases are left open.
Right. I mean, we'd like to think that every case is going to be solved, but in all reality, no.
Right.
Not every case is solved. And, with
Amelia Earhart, I mean, you got the ones where didn't she fly through the Bermuda Triangle, or is that somebody else?
Well, she was definitely on a trip around the world, and her plane just kind of disappeared.
Because I know people get lost in the Bermuda Triangle and never found again.
Yeah, I don't think it was Bermuda Triangle, though. I think it was like around Easter Island, but I could be wrong. All right, here we go, ghosts. Let's see how skeptical they are of this one.
Okay.
From the Shakespeare play Macbeth to the NBC show Medium, spirits of the dead have long made appearances in our culture and folklore. Many people have reported seeing apparitions of both shadowy strangers and departed loved ones. Though definitive proof the existence of ghosts remains elusive, sincere eyewitnesses continue to report seeing, photographing, and even communicating with ghosts. Ghost investigators hope to one day prove that the dead can contact the living, providing a final answer to the mystery.
Yes, they can.
Yeah.
We wouldn't be paranormal investigators if we didn't think that way.
Right, exactly.
And that's why we do all our experiments, just to prove the point. That
I mean,
depending on not always talking to the right person, maybe, but
I think there's enough proof now that, there's definitely paranormal activity. It's just the question of, is it the spirit of a departed loved one? Or, is it a spirit of a person that's passed away? Or is it an elemental? And I think being a paranormal investigator, there's no doubt in our mind that there's ghosts.
right.
So
if we didn't think there was ghosts, we wouldn't be doing what we do.
Exactly. Deja vu is the next one.
I like this one.
Yeah. Deja vu is a French phrase meaning already seen, referring to the distinct, puzzling, and mysterious feeling of having experienced a specific set of circumstances before. A woman. Why are they picking on the women? A woman might walk into a building, for example, in a foreign country she'd never visited, and sense that the setting is eerie and intimately familiar. Some attribute deja vu to psychic experiences or unbidden glimpses of previous lives. As with intuition, research into human psychology can offer more naturalistic explanations, but ultimately the cause and nature of the phenomenon itself remains a mystery. Yep.
Well, in this one, they didn't really mention astral projection.
Not yet, anyway.
And most definitely deja vu happens, because that's happened to me plenty of times.
Oh, yeah.
Especially through dreams.
Yeah, I was going to say, I usually dream it, and then it happens. And
For
then
me, it's about 6 months down the road.
Yeah. Yeah, I think deja vu is definitely real, but what it is, I don't know, timeline jump, maybe?
I think so. Maybe time loss.
Mm-hmm. Could be.
It's just like, I don't know if this is a very good comparison, but like the Amityville Horror Murders.
Mm-hmm.
When the gun went off, time lost there because they say that nobody heard it.
Yeah, could be.
Mm-hmm.
Could be. All right, next one, UFOs. See how skeptical they are about UFOs. There is no doubt that UFOs, unidentified flying objects, exist. What? They're just like, oh yeah, no, they exist.
I haven't seen any yet.
I know. Many people see things in the sky they cannot identify, ranging from aircraft to meteors. Whether or not any of those objects and lights are alien spacecraft is another matter altogether. Given the fantastic distances and effort involved in just getting to Earth from across the universe, such a scenario seems unlikely. Still, while careful investigation has revealed known causes for most sighting reports, some UFO incidences will always remain unexplained.
So are they talking about the designs in the cornfields?
I don't know. These people are really skeptical on everything.
Yeah, they are. It's like, I would love to get them in a really haunted location and just see how crazy they go.
Yeah, I know, right?
I think they probably shit themselves.
Probably. Okay, near-death experiences and life after death.
This seems to be like a popular one because I've heard this being brought up a lot lately.
I have too. It seems to be like a catalyst for paranormal encounters. Like if you go through near-death experience, then you are going to have a connection with the other side type stuff.
Mm-hmm. And also it triggers with a person I follow on Instagram. She's called Hospice Nurse Julie. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
She's got some fantastic stories about people are just getting ready to die.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
People who were once near death have sometimes reported various mystical experiences, such as going into a tunnel and emerging in a light, being reunited with loved ones, and a sense of peace, etc., that may suggest an existence beyond the grave. While such experiences are profound, no one has returned with proof or verifiable information, from beyond the grave. Skeptics suggest, I think these people are the skeptics, that the experiences are explainable as natural and predictable hallucinations of a traumatized brain. A study of people in cardiac arrest in 2015 found that when the heart is dying, it gets peppered by signals from the brain, which tries to stay active. The scramble of signals might be responsible for near-death experiences, researchers figure.
I don't know.
I mean, I don't know if they are completely without proof, because I've heard of, people coming back that have, seen their body and have completely described the room in detail that they couldn't have described, So that to me is more verifiable proof. But
yeah, and they all say about the light. They all say about, like I was telling you about that lady before. She said that some people are looking at the corner and are just raising their hands up the air for no apparent reason, like they're reaching out to grab something. So, yeah. And if you want to hear more about near-death experiences and stuff, go back to Paranormal Buzz Radio and listen to REP Paranormal's last show. Now, that guy was talking about near-death.
Yeah,
I want to learn more about that.
These people are super skeptical. I think they just haven't done any research.
Mm-hmm. But for the listeners, if they're more curious about it, hear about it, that's where they should go, because it was just last week.
Yeah. Psychic powers and ESP. Psychic powers and extrasensory perception, or ESP, rank among the top 10 unexplained phenomena, if for no other reason than that belief in them is so widespread. Many people believe that intuition is a form of psychic power, a way of accessing arcane or special knowledge without the world or the future. Researchers have tested people who claim to have psychic powers, though the results are under controlled scientific conditions have so far been negative or ambiguous. Some have argued that psychic powers cannot be tested, or for some reason diminish in the presence of the skeptics or scientists. This is true. Science will never be able to prove or disprove the existence of psychic powers. Okay, so
ask Bill Murray.
I was gonna say, apparently these people have never watched that movie Talking to Goats. I mean, the government uses this stuff. The government uses remote viewing. They use all that kind of stuff. So these people are, I don't know, smoking crack.
I think who wrote the article is smoking crack. Yes.
Yes. All right.
I picked a good one, didn't I?
Yeah, this is a good one. We can argue about it. The body-mind connection. Medical science is only beginning to understand the ways in which the mind influences the body. The placebo effect, for example, demonstrates that people can at times cause relief in medical symptoms or suffering by believing the cures to be effective, whether they actually are or not. Using processes only poorly understood, the body's ability to heal itself is far more amazing than anything modern medicine could create. So while there are many unexplained phenomena, and frankly, some of them are dubious, the explainable science of the body and mind, even if we're still trying to figure out much of it, may be among the most amazing phenomenon of all.
So if I was supposed to put my mind to say my leg is hurting, I'd say stop hurting. It's supposed to automatically stop hurting.
Well, have you ever heard of like an amputee victim? Their foot hurts, even though it's cut off. The foot's still hurting them, and they have that phantom leg syndrome. But if they get
I've heard that.
But then when they put on false leg or something, the pain goes away because they see the leg, they see the foot, and it doesn't hurt anymore. And it's just that mind telling them that. So
I could definitely see where the placebo effect comes in with that. or is there such a thing called mind matrixing? I guess that's one of the same, really.
Right.
But
At
I
least
see
they're
that.
not skeptical about this one. I mean,
Right.
but then
right.
again, the placebo effect is well documented, and yeah.
And I can see that, really. I could. I mean, if you're missing a finger, but then it's like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I agree with
All
you on
right.
that, though.
All right. Well, that's our top 10 for today. It was a neat list. Interesting list. Like I said, these people are super skeptical on everything.
They're gonna be scared shitless going to a haunted location. I can tell you that.
I know. I'd like to take them out, and or have Misty and Ashley Connor give them a reading.
Oh, that'd blow their mind.
Yeah, totally.
Wow.
All right, Darin, I guess that is it for this time. If you want to tell people who you are and where they can find you.
Sure. My name is Darin Buss. You can find me on the Paranormal Bus Stop on Paranormal Buzz Radio. And also you can find me on the Facebook pages of Paranormal Brew, Midwest Ghost Seekers, and Darin Buss. You can also find me on TikTok for MGS Paranormal, my YouTube channel, which is MGS Paranormal as well. Twitter is dbus1000, and Instagram is dbus1000 and mgs20.20. What about you, Rebecca?
I'm Cambry House, pretty much everywhere, CAMBRE. At this point, if you type Cambry into a search engine, I should come up on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. So, and I've got a website too. So,
Yes.
Thanks for pinch hitting for Shay. I appreciate it.
Anytime.
It's fun. It's fun talking to you.
Same here. Good stuff. Good topics.
All right.
All right. Good night, everybody.